What's going on, Charlie? Yep.
I'm Jean.
Thanks for tuning in to Multicasking. Today with us, we have a very special bottle. The bottle you can only get from Peerless Distillery. This is a Peerless.
Are you sure you can only get it there? Did they say that?
We have a bottle of Peerless Rye whiskey because I'm a rye guy. This is from their single barrel series. Yep, Distiller single barrel selection.
Sure wish I had something in my glass right now.
This is a heavy cork.
I'll take that.
I like the cork. We're gonna try nosing out of some new bottles today, or do some new glasses today. We got these on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. We like to experiment a little bit with glasses for nosing to see how well we like them.
So, I was gonna look this up and I didn't have a chance to. DSP Kentucky 30. What does the DSP mean?
Comment down below. I know what DSP knows, but comment down below. I actually don't know. Comment down below if you know what the DSP stands for. We're in Kentucky. We hit 15 distilleries in 5 days. We probably should have asked that question at some point.
Probably should have.
So we're there at Peerless. We're there and their tours are booked up. Fun fact, little tidbit, little hint, quick hint for you. If you're going on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail now, pretty much any time in the next 10 years, book your tours first before you ever book your hotels. Just know that. They're going to be packed up during the whiskey boom that's going on right now. Packed up for a while. Went in there and said, hey, Rye guy, what can I only get here? And they said, we have these distiller series. I want the lime sherbet, which is what they call one of the bottles. But Gene wisely said, hey, can he try something before he buys something because of the price of this, which we'll get to later. They said, no, not really. We don't really do that.
Because their tastings were already filled up.
Yeah, but they're like, no. I wanted the lime sherbet. 2 out of the 3 employees, they took it up like, hey, what's yours? They voted for the chocolate tart.
Chocolate. Tart.
Barrel proof. It's a 55.6 ABV. It's 111.2 proof. Barrel strength, single barrel chocolate tart, ladies and gentlemen.
I get the tartness. I get like a granny apple innard.
Granny apple innards.
Yep.
No, not for
the green granny apples to me are tart.
Not for nothing. We have their barrel proof regular rye and a little 375.
A little guy.
Well, 200 milliliter actually. Didn't love it.
Nope.
Didn't love it. So, which is why Jean's all like when I asked.
Don't do it. I said, don't do it.
She didn't want me buying it. She's like, we didn't like them. But we've only had one incarnation of them.
Yeah, so but he got something that he could only get there, so that's what he was looking for.
Are you sure I can only get it there?
No, I'm not.
I don't know if I love nosing out of these glasses.
Well, it's an experiment.
It is an experiment.
You want a different glass?
I have one right here. I just want to see the difference. There isn't much of a difference.
No. I get like some dirt and some earth. I get the cherry. I get the tartness. Some chocolate.
This is not a punch in your face rye on the nose.
It's a dark chocolate.
Chocolate, yes. This is a 91, 92. If you go to the chocolate aisle in the grocery store or your candy store, you have different degrees of chocolate.
Okay.
74 is considered milk. 80s, you're starting to get into dark, and anything over 90 cocoa, you're. This is a dark chocolate. No, yeah, I get the earth. I get your tart.
There's a mint of some sort.
I'm getting a hint of something sour.
Spearmint, I guess.
I don't think they do a sour mash. They do a sweet mash. But they are in Louisville, Kentucky, a little bit off the Bourbon Trail. You have to walk past Fraser's Museum. They're about 2 blocks past Fraser's Museum.
Right.
So they're at the end of the Bourbon Trail.
Still easy to get
Bourbon
to.
Row. Bourbon Row. A little bit difficult to nose.
Heavy spearmint. Chocolate and spearmint. With some cherries.
I'm getting a touch of
Dirt.
perfume. You here, try it in a Glencairn. There's not really much difference in nosing.
I actually prefer this one.
Yeah.
Because I get a lot more, I don't know if the fumes get to gather in there before it comes up, but I don't know. I like it. I like this guy.
I can't do my whiskey hat in it, which Eric Waite has a larger whiskey hat on his show.
Oh.
That might fit this glass, but.
You want me to get you a little saucer?
A little saucer might work. Interesting. It's not a punch in the face rye. Like I said, I'm a huge rye guy. Rye is my number one for flavor. If I have a choice between a Scotch, actually I might pick a Japanese. I'd say Scotch, Japanese, rye, or bourbon. Actually, right now I'd probably pick the Japanese, but rye would be one or two.
Well, you had a Japanese last night you didn't care for.
The bonsai.
Maybe some menthol in here. I'm having to go in.
Do it. It's a unique blend. I have high hopes for this on the palate. After we took the notes on it, it was just, I think, if memory serves, it was just okay. But I'm digging that face.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay,
Owen Wilson.
dang. This is
it
chocolate
dang?
cherry on the right as you have a drink. As soon as it hits your tongue, it's chocolate cherry, and then the peppers are like, hello! And then it kind of just softens out a little bit and just soaks into the tongue with some spearmint fireworks.
It's making me tear up from the spices. It's like eating a hot pepper. So as you're saying, what'd you say? It soaks into the tongue? As you're saying that, it's soaking into my tongue, and the thing that's going through my head seconds before you say soaks in the tongue, it's like my tongue, I need to drench out my tongue like a wet towel.
Yeah, it's just soaked in like a sponge.
Wow, as Owen Wilson would say.
Yeah.
Man, starts out underwhelming
But man,
for 1.2 seconds.
it's a chocolate cherry spearmint piece of candy is what it is.
Sometimes I compare things to the cherry cordial ice cream, where you got your strawberry ice cream, sometimes white ice cream, or vanilla, but you got your cherries and you got your chocolate in there. It's like having it in my glass.
This is like, you know, those dinner mints, you know, after like at the
Andes.
place that you get,
Yeah,
but there's cherry in it.
Yeah.
And it's the chocolate mint with cherry.
I like it. It's good. I like it.
And it's juicy. It's really juicy.
Yeah. I remember being disappointed on this when we were doing notes.
Well, I'll tell you now.
Spearmint, but there's
Are you saying that the neck pour was disappointing? Are you saying that?
Yes, it was underwhelming. I am absolutely saying that.
Just get over the neck pour, and boy, that's good.
Now, and one thing, what a lot of whiskey reviewers will do is uncorking. Uncorking 90% of the time, if not more, is going to be the worst portion of that
True.
whiskey. So if you have a whiskey sitting on your shelf right now, I opened it up, I didn't much care for it, go back to it because you may really like it, you may even love it now.
I don't like doing uncorkings here with you guys because I don't think it's fair to you, because the truth of the liquid isn't really coming across in the neck pour,
Well,
in my opinion.
Think about the logic of that. If you have a 750, which is what this is, the neck pour is going to be literally, well, this is a small neck, but the neck pour can be in the top
But
portion.
it's opened up a little bit.
Well, the majority of what you drink is going to be down here at the base of the bottle. The neck pour is going to happen one time, and to judge a whiskey based upon your first impression isn't always fair. Like you don't want to judge a whiskey based upon the first mouthfeel either. You didn't say that. I just said it.
I just said it.
Oh yeah, water's the thing we do. Not for nothing, I'm digging this glass. It fills the hand. I don't mind the glass. I had misconceptions.
It's harder to store, I imagine, because you know it's going to take up more space.
It's all about the space. No trouble.
Especially when you put it in the Glencairn, and I don't know what this name of this is.
This type of glass, you mean?
Yeah.
I assume it's a rocks glass of some sort.
Anyway, when I had the Glencairn next to this one, the Glencairn held those notes, but this was more open, and more of the notes to me came up through the nose.
Interesting. To me, the cherries, I'm gonna keep going back to this, cherries you get from the cherry cordial. So if you have an ice cream, has a bunch of cherries in it, like the actual size, full-size cherries, and sometimes you just get a mouthful of nothing but that cherry. That cherry's in this glass. That type of cherry, specifically. Especially with water. Water just pumps up the cherries, but not in a cherry syrup way, not in a bad way, in a glorious way.
The only rye note that I'm getting is the spearmint.
Good call.
For this to be a rye, I would be expecting more of the sage, anise, the, you know,
Clove.
but it's clove. All of the what I think is rye. So this, to me, I would never guess this as being a rye, except for the heavy spearmint, which the heavy spearmint I associate with a rye, and that's the only rye note that I'm getting.
My favorite note to get in a rye is clove. I love clove on a rye. I'm getting no clove. I'm getting very little. You're right. You're not wrong. I'm guessing this is what's considered a barely legal rye. I'm guessing this is a 51%
Must be.
rye.
But I mean, it's certainly not a bad whiskey. It is. It's just not what I would consider to be a rye whiskey. What'd the water do for you?
I already said that. Added the cherries, like I've got a mouthful of the cherries from the cherry ice cream.
Oh.
From the cherry cordial ice cream.
Change the flavor for you?
Yes, on the finish now is 100% cream. Vanilla.
With peppers.
Yeah. See, pepper. I get a lot of peppers on rye. I'm not getting a ton of peppers with this.
I am. I'm getting a lot of peppers.
But the finish is 100% cream, 100% vanilla, but a little bit vanilla bean, actually. Again, I'm going to go back to an ice cream note.
You know,
it's
like
called chocolate tart.
you remember like the little rum cakes, the moist cake with the rum in it?
Love the moist rum cakes.
I get the moist cakeness from the
I'll
rum
give you that.
cake.
Yeah,
Without, but you know, not the rum flavor.
Easy.
But the cake,
Great
the moist
articulation.
cake part.
Great note. Yeah, 100%. That's exactly. Well, for me, that's the finish.
Yeah.
For you, okay. Yeah. Easy. Score time.
Oh.
So, what I'm curious is, and guess real quick, what do you think our score is going to be? Guess down below. What's our score going to be? This is going to be a week this number for me. Solid 1 digit under. What did you think ours was going to be?
I'm having a hard time.
I know you are, and I am most curious about what your score is going to be. Don't tell me your score. I want to guess your score because you are not a fan of Peerless. I'm going to guess and say you did an 89.
Nope.
What'd you do? Matches.
Yeah, and I'm not normally, based on this little fella, let me back up here. Based on him, I'm like, I don't see all the hype about Peerless, but boy, I tell you, this Cherry Chocolate Tart Rye fella, again, I wouldn't call it a rye. Obviously, it has to be, but it is quite good.
Right there. It's like, you know, your Hershey's bar, they come in little quarter sections and you can take a little corner off or whatever, little squares. You get a big bar.
Snap it.
Yeah, and you snap it off,
You
put it in your
snap
tongue,
it.
and you just let it sit there for 20 minutes and it melts on your tongue. That melting of the chocolate on my tongue just hit my palate. Prior to that, I'm like, why is this called chocolate tart? Then chocolate. I don't get a ton of tart.
The flavors are just soaked into my taste buds.
Wow.
They're just soaked in. Yes. Do you want to know how much you paid for it? And I said, don't do it.
I know how much I paid for it. I remember how much I paid for it. I remember some bottles. Correct me if I'm wrong. 125.
124. Yeah.
124. Probably plus tax. Is it worth Gene $124?
Boy. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Look at you. Putting your big girl pants on. This is so creamy and so flavorful. It's worth the price.
It is worth the price.
Now,
I mean, I wouldn't pay too much more for it.
one thing.
Maybe I would actually. It has some very unique parts of, and it's so juicy.
Yes,
it's just
great
so
word.
juicy.
Great word. Yes. Here's my thing. I like top 5. All the time I'm like, hey Gene, let's do this top 5 or that top 5. She goes, no, I don't want to do top 5. I want to review the whiskey in front of me. She goes, if you want to do top 5, you do it. So I'm going to start doing some top 5s. One top 5 I'm craving to do is a top 5 unique rye whiskeys. This might
really
just make my list.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't come off like a normal rye.
It doesn't come off as a rye at all, in my opinion, except for the spearmint part. And you know, the peppers are normally stronger with the rye, and I get a lot of peppers in this.
If I am guessing at the mash bill, which I'm sure I'm horrible at, this has a ton of corn. Because I'm getting more corn. I'm getting corn as a predominant note. I'm probably thinking this is a bourbon with a high rye mash bill.
High rye, yeah, I'd give you a high rye, but I wouldn't give you a 51% or more.
This,
rye.
I'm guessing, to me, pure guess, zero, I don't know. I'm guessing 30% corn at least.
Really?
Yeah.
I would say more malted barley.
See, I might get a ton of cereal notes though.
I don't know.
I usually get cereal notes like Cheerios or whatever.
But that's where the sweetness comes from, is the malted barley, I thought.
Not the corn? It's a learning experience. That's why you have a whiskey show, folks.
I don't know. What I like to do is drink. And not...
Drink and love her husband, her 2 favorite things. Do you have anything to add, Gene?
I have nothing else to add. I have no idea how this is going to clank.
I thought about that earlier, yeah. So I'm Charlie.
And I'm Jean, and I hope you are just as thirsty as we are.
Figuring it out.
Let's see what that sounds like.
Seems like I'm losing stuff on the glass. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Jean, and I hope you are just as thirsty as we are. That's a horrible.
I'm Charlie.
I'm Jean. I hope you're just as thirsty as we are.
Yeah, you are.